Hello. Yo. Yo. What's up, chat? Hello, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Dun-Do. We're Bunny Bean. We know Danny Bean Bow. Was Jeff Olber's son? Yeah, that's crazy. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. We are back. We are home. We're getting back in the rhythm of things. Frick. Plug this shit in. You're a very sexy girl. This song's about me, dude. If I was a girl. If I was a dude, it wouldn't, I am a dude, so it's not about me. Okay. All right. I've seen Guns N' Roses live. They're still touring. That is crazy. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I had to plug something in. I might be lagging a little bit here. Give me a second. Learn to live like an animal. And take it today. You better not take it from me in the jungle. Okay. Here's that there. And then that will be. Okay. Hello. Yo. Hi, chat. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, everyone. Put that there. Okay. Does that look right? Does it look right to you guys? Looks right to me. Remind he's looking good? Yeah, it kind of does look good on camera, doesn't it? Yeah, it does look good on camera. Something seems off, though. How you doing, Esfand? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Okay, let's put that there. Oh, frick, it's Esfand. Yo. Guys, we're going to play more Elder Scrolls Oblivion today. We're going to do a little bit of recap. We can talk about some OTKs. You know what I'm going to start doing? I have kind of stopped giving a damn, and I'm just going to start talking about shit because I feel like it. If I don't feel like it, then I won't. But if I feel like it, I'll talk about stuff. We're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Music too loud? Yeah! Welcome to the jungle, baby! Sorry. Okay. All right, saved-ish. Esfand, there's your doppelganger and your evil copy, also known as Asmongold. Yes. Yeah, me and Asmon are like reverse, but we're not. We're like it's like yin and yang in a lot of ways. Did you see this? Thank you. Do you have PSP specs posted up somewhere? I have. So what I'm using is a Voyager Creator Elite, but it's the old gen. I don't have the 5090 version yet, but I'm going to get one soon. It'll be like a Ryzen. This is what I'm going to get. Brokey. Okay, I don't have a PC because we were low on allocation, so I didn't upgrade my PC yet. This is what I'm gonna get eventually. Yeah, this will be the guy. If you're a broke boy, just say so. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be the guy. What's up, MC Pumil? Yeah, we're gonna play some Oblivion today. Soon TM. We're gonna do a little bit of recap. We can talk about some stuff. But yeah, this will be what I get soon. It'll be a Voyager 3 Elite. Except I will get the AMD version. Yeah. This will be what I get soon. $490, $50, same thing. Yeah, I mean it's not like a huge upgrade, to be honest. It's less than the ones in the past. I might get more than 64 gigs of RAM. I don't know. I might go 128. Yeah, I might go like 128, and then I'll add extra storage. Oh wait, no. Oh, this has the secondary storage in there. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, exact same. 9800 X3D. How you feeling today? I'm feeling good. You should see if Starforge will sponsor you. Yeah, good idea. What's up, Shane? How's it going, dude? What's up, Spellphone? New stream poggers. Yeah, what's up, Spellphone? Are you running for Pope now that there's vacancy? I was invited. I was offered, but I declined. Yeah, I ended up declining it because I kind of wanted to give somebody else a chance, but I don't know. I might if it's not too late, I'll probably hit them up and be like, you know what? I'm still thinking about it. I don't want a situation where people are like relying on me to, Pope it up, and then next thing you know, it's like I have like an OTK thing I have to do, or like I got to do something for Starforge or whatever, and then I can't Pope it. So makes sense. Yeah, like I don't know. Like there's always something, dude. There's always freaking something, man. And I know like people really need me to be the Pope, but I just can't commit to that right now. Do you see how much Pope pays? It's crazy money. Wait, is it actually? Your KCD playthrough gave you a lot of good experience. You had my vote. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ be praised. Henry, my boy. I'm thinking I need to maybe change some things with my setup. So I found out my hands, my monitor is 2 arms length away. It's 2 arms length away from my face. So you know how I'm like always like staring at my screen? It's because it's so far away. It's supposed to be 1 arm's length away. I didn't know that. Two arms? How big is your table? It's a big. I literally got a conference table for my desk. How many times has this song played? Okay. Or your arms are stubby. I have long arms. How's the organizing stuff been? It's been good. It's been good. Tomorrow is probably the last day. Yeah, tomorrow's the last day that Shay's going to be here. Yeah, it's the last day Shay's going to be here, so. Yeah, I'm going to add more music to this chill playlist. Final exam. Oh, frick. What's up, Gotlarked? What's up, everybody? Is YouTube chat working? I don't know if it's not updating or what. But yeah, we're gonna have 2 streams on YouTube today so that I can like split things up. Gino Cyber, thank you for the 63 months. Keith gifted a sub earlier to Cineflex. Okay, good. It's working. Thanks, Alfurious. Okay, cool. All right. And oh, I didn't post that I'm live on Twitter. Recap. React. We got me reacts. Talking about some things. Maybe some OTK stuff. Then continuing my first ever Oblivion playthrough for the remaster. Cool. Chat, go like my tweet. Slide, thank you for the 34 months. Okay. No smile. Okay, let's see what's this. Oh, you guys can't hear? What is going on, bro? Can you guys actually not hear it? How does this... how come everything's dog shit? Is that a good question? Can anybody answer this for me? Why is everything dog shit? Okay, routing. Oh. Low rider drives a little slower. Okay. Line in. Microphone. Can you hear me? Did my audio quality change at all whenever I said, can you hear me? Just now? Or does it sound the exact same? Same? All right, cool.
Hello?
Jalen, Nick Casario with the Texans. How you doing, bud?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Congratulations. We're going to turn the pick in. We're excited to have
Let's
you.
do it.
You're a good football
Let's
player.
do it.
So,
Let's do it.
yeah,
Let's do it.
I'm gonna put you on.
Let's do it.
Put you on
Let's
Coach
do
Ryan's.
it.
Here's Coach Ryan's.
All right, let's do it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jaden, congrats, man.
Hey, get the Texan tag. Get the Texan tag. Let's do it. Appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate it, Coach.
You get that Texans hand ready, man. We're proud of that.
All right, bet. Let's do it, Coach. Let's do it.
All right, I'm passing you over to our owner here. Tell me.
All right, bet. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Dude, I love the draft.
Yes, sir. I'm
It's
ready.
so
Let's
good.
go.
Give everyone a hug there. That helps get you here, okay, bud?
Esfand, every time someone asks
I
to take a
got you.
picture.
Congrats.
True.
Hello?
Jalen, Nick Casario with the Texans. How you doing, bud?
Oh, man, that's great. Let's do it. That's so good. That is so good.
Ah, a stranger in town. But as I always say, a stranger is just a friend I haven't met yet. Hey, friend, do you think you could help me out? I'm caught a bit short at the moment. Anything at all would be much appreciated. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Me, 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 me.
What?
Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me,
What?
me, 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 me.
Dude, this game has been great so far, by the way. Yeah.
I trust you have a good reason for interrupting me.
Look at the muscles on you.
Oh man, what? What is happening in this game, dude? What is happening in this game, dude? It's freaking ridiculous. Dude, I was thinking about this, like, Gorthax and I were talking this morning. I was talking to the editors, right? I was talking to Gorthax, Milan. And it's like, I need to take shorts. Like, the Coach Esfand channel should just be a bunch of shorts of, like, the TTS bits. It should be a bunch of shorts of the TTS bits. Like, all these games that I break immediately all the time, like, they would make for such funny, like, shorts and clips and all that stuff. Like, it just, yeah, I should just be doing that all the time. Yeah, all the time. Esfand twerking Tuesday tomorrow. That's never been a thing. Yeah, that's never been a thing at all. Did you guys see people were mad at Saquon Barkley for going to play golf with Trump? Like, here's the thing. This is what my opinion has always been, is like, I don't care who you voted for president. Bogged? Hold on a second. Let me see this. I don't care who people vote for president, but oh, okay. Let's see. But I feel like once like the election is done, it's like, okay, well, this is your president now. So now you don't have to go and do this or do that or whatever, right? But I feel like there's got to be this, like, I feel like you should at least have like a baseline level of respect for the position, the office. But that's just like how I am. So, and that's not to say that, okay, well, everybody should be going to play golf with Trump. But like, I feel like getting upset at somebody for going to go do that is kind of stupid, right? At least that's just how I feel. Because in reality, I just don't really give a damn whether or not somebody is or isn't doing that, because I have 1,000 other problems on my mind that's more important to me. Things that actually affect my life. Dave, I don't think this thing is working. Bill Belichick is fried. Dude, the Bill Belichick thing is so fun. My jaw dropped watching it. Okay, hold on. Can somebody link me that clip?
Respect my authority!
Yeah. Where's the clip? Where's this? Hold on. Bill Belichick girlfriend CBS interview. Is that? I'll just go to my Twitter. Twitter.com/EsfandTV. Looking good? Thanks, dude. Dude. Watch this.
Do you think Asman will come back? Not the tips says OTK won't be focused on being advertiser friendly anymore.
I feel like not being focused on being advertiser friendly. You wanna know my honest opinion? When when did OTK ever focus on being advertiser friendly? I don't think OTK ever was. I just keep it real. You see the things these idiots say all the time and do? Like, I'm just keeping it real. Nobody knows my friends better than me, okay? And the amount of dumb shit these guys have said. I love them to death, but holy hell. Like, okay, yeah. This man picks his boys up for a night on the short box. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here, well, just watch this video.
Make sure that that's the.
No, I'm joking, right? But like jokes aside. I don't think any of that shit matters. What did Asmund do with OTK ever? I'll show after year 1. I shouldn't say ever. He didn't really go to events. He didn't really, like, as far as I'm talking about content, by the way. He didn't really go to do stuff, right? Showed up to that one thing that one time. Yeah. He was a gateway drug to the rest of the team. Not really. Maybe to Emeru. But like, and me to some degree, I think. No, actually, I take it back. Me definitely at the beginning. And a little bit now. Extra Emily's gateway drug? Yeah, maybe to a hate thread. Like, you know? But like me and Asmund stream years ago, I mean, even Asmund said this himself. He said the stream that's probably the most similar, his stream and my stream were probably the most similar to one another, like on the website, or they were like one of those streams. That I don't even know if that was a real sentence. My stream was the most similar to his, as far as like the type of content and stuff that we did, like 6 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, right? So, but now we don't really do as much of the same stuff. Now, me and Asmund still love all the same games, right? But he doesn't really do as much gameplay stuff, and he covers a lot of politics, which I don't really do politics because I just don't do it, right? Like I'm kind of like whatever about a lot of political stuff. You're the only streamer on OTK that's been there since the start that still has a clean sheet. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like. But then again, like the other people, like, sure, you say like only one that has a clean sheet, but at the same time, like, that's including things that are like not that bad, you know. And anybody that did anything that's really bad is not here anymore. You know. Bring back classic ass, true. Not clean underwear, though. Okay. How do you know that my underwear is dirty? My underwear is not dirty, but how would you know? You know? Because you play WoW. Oh, okay. Fair. True. We can smell it. Okay? No, okay, so all the jokes and stuff aside, whenever it comes to OTK stuff, it's kind of like people always want to read into things and believe things that support their own sort of thoughts and narratives or whatever, right? Esfand, I'm back, yo. So like, a lot of the problem, like, I mean, dude, I can't tell you the amount of times that, like, I'll read a comment on Twitter about some shit, and it's like, oh, OTK did XYZ. They should have done ABC. But it's like, you realize what you're talking about is the whole reason why this thing happened in the first place. But, like, you don't understand, like, you don't have the information or the understanding of, like, what to do with that information even, probably. Maybe you do, I don't know. But you don't have the information regardless to even understand the nuance of the situation, right? So, like, for example, it's like we're talking about, like, too many sponsors and this and that. I didn't get paid for the Progressive Show. I didn't get paid for Top Streamer. Like, we do those shows to pay the staff and the employees and the production and do the actual event. So, like, we're essentially doing a lot of, like, free sponsors. You know what I mean? So eventually you kind of hit a point where you're like, wait a second, we're like hamsters on a wheel where we hire people to get sponsors to do events to pay them to get more sponsors and to do more events to continue to, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so we're doing all these things to pay our staff. And that's it, essentially, you know? And then it's like, okay, so now you have like a certain amount of bandwidth. Any human, right? Any person has a certain amount of bandwidth, right? You have 24 hours in a day. You have a certain amount of creative energy. You have a certain amount of like, you have a certain amount of juice, you know? So, not true you own the company, that's compensation, no. No, I don't have any salary. No. Now, you have equity in the company, right? But what is equity but a lottery ticket? You know? Doing events just to keep people employed basically means you're bankrupt. Yeah. Equity is compensation when paid out. Yeah, but do you know how that works? So, like, when do you get paid out? You get paid out if you sell. But it's nothing but a lottery ticket at the end of the day. You get paid out when you sell your shares? To who? You can't just you don't just flip a switch and all of a sudden it's not like I'm buying and selling WoW tokens on the auction house. It's somebody's got to buy it. So like yeah, somebody's got to buy it. The risk is there for sure. I mean, but that's just point blank how it works, you know. Now and every company and every business has a value. Yeah, buy what? The name? Exactly. So like so when you're buying or selling a company, what are you buying? Right? You have a Tectone wasn't an owner of OTK. Tectone was he was signed as talent. Schlatt was an owner, but whenever you become an owner of OTK, you have a certain like vest for your shares. Like there's a certain amount of time you have to be an owner, and then you get like a certain amount of vested shares. So it's like there's a certain runoff with your contract, right? It's like you do this for X amount of time, and then whatever. Now you're fully vested, and then you get all your shares. You build up to it. Esfand, you're making a great argument for there not to be any orgs. So, remember whenever we started OTK, we were like, oh, esports is like kind of dying. It's not necessarily true, right? But we were like, esports is definitely harder to do. So that's why we did more media production and we did more like content stuff. We were really one of the first like content orgs, right? If you died today or shares paid out to beneficiary, yeah, but at the end of the day, they're not worth anything. Because every company, like you get a valuation for a company, and it's like the company is worth X amount based on these different criteria, like what type of business you have. You're looking at what type of business you have, how much revenue you generate, how much in, how much out, how much you have in the vault. All these things, right? So we'll do the Belichick interview in a second. Yeah, OTV wasn't an org. OTV became an org actually. I think they are an org now, but they weren't an org originally. They were just they're like a content group. So yeah, looking healthy. Thanks, dude. Is esports even worth? No, esports can be worth it. But like it depends, right? Like, but for the type of we realized for what we do and what we were good at, it wasn't worth it for us. True, orgs are vile. So many stories of content creators being scammed and abused by them. Heck, VTuber orgs are a very clear example of this. So I want to talk about this because you know what I keep seeing? People are like, well, how come you don't do like a revenue share, revenue split? And I responded to this on Twitter. Let me talk about this. Jordan was a... Hold on, where did I say? And like, this is like one of those things that it's like, oh shit. It's like a very eye-opening sort of thing. So, could there be a deal in place where a percentage of the stream revenue goes back to the org/production team? In the end, a lot of the subs don't know what's happening during those streams are due to the event and people around it, just as the host streamer themselves bring audience win-win. This is like, there's a lot of nuance to this where it's like, this is true and not true, whatever. But it doesn't really matter, right? So my response to this was those people are already getting paid out and they're covered. Like these people are already paid, right? That's where that loss comes from. But in the past, other orgs have taken a revenue percentage from creators and Notorious got a ton of hate for it. But this is the reason why. So you guys remember there was like a huge ordeal with FaZe. FaZe was taking like a cut of people's like contracts and stuff, a percentage of people's revenue as part of their contract with signing with FaZe. Now, the reason they do this is because of the exact situation where we're in, because we're hamsters on a wheel, basically doing sponsors for people that we're hiring to pay their salaries and nothing else, right? Yeah, there was like a huge Tifa thing. So, yeah, Tifa got effed over. I don't know. I don't know the details of all that. At the time, I thought the same thing. You know, I even said this. I said, including myself in the past, right? And I was specifically thinking about the Tifa thing, and I don't remember the details. I just remember thinking like, oh, that's cringe, that's lame. So a lot of orgs took the stance of, oh, we're not going to touch your revenue. Did I say Tifa? Tifu. So a lot of orgs took the stance of, we're not going to touch your revenue. Especially for us and where we come from, we think about things like creator first because that's who we are. But the problem with that inherently comes with some issues, right? Where you have certain people like, Tips has a business background. I have a business background, right? I've had a real job. You know, I graduated with a business degree. You know, Tips, same thing. So like, you look at things in a certain way because of certain experiences that you've had in the past or a certain type of education or whatever that you have, whatever you've learned. Now that also leads to, that's on the back end, but on the front end, which is like our more recent experience being streamers, right? Well, Tips basically retired from streaming just to work on the back end, whereas I kept streaming alongside everybody else. So we're like, yeah, you shouldn't touch their personal revenue. Let all that go to whatever. But in reality, somebody joins an org or whatever, and they provide them with all these things. Like there's got to be some kind of reciprocation of payment there in order to cover the costs, right? So I'm going to use FaZe again as an example. We're like, the new FaZe kids, They joined FaZe and their streams 10x'd immediately, like more than 10x'd. It was like overnight, almost suspiciously. but it's because they have that brand, right? So they have that brand and stuff, and being a part of that brand, it boosted them. And they also cover stuff for them. They allow them to do certain things. So it's like, yeah, like, it's funny because this suggestion is exactly what you would think from a business sense of how things should be run in order for, you know, everything to flow properly. But in the past, they got a shit ton of hate for it. So it's kind of funny because maybe they were right all along and we were wrong. So a lot of new sales methods, traffic back on Twitter for a lot of users. Maybe. I think it makes sense if you get value out of the org in forms of promotion, production, help with content, editing, handle for them. But if it's just they're mostly solo, then it's kind of cringe. Yeah, I mean, like, but it's also like the exposure, right? Like, there's times where people will join an org and they get a huge boost from it, right? Their stream grows, whatever. For me, I started an org and my stream tanked. Weird, right? Weird how that one worked. But that's what, like, I'm one of the ones who's always freaking like trying to, oh guys, we got to do this. Guys, we got to do this. Hey, this thing came out. We got to do this. Crazy how that works, right? Hey, let's do all of our events on one person's channel. Guys? Yeah. No, I mean, there's definitely like some mistakes made along the way. Some of which I was very vocal about, but I was outvoted. So, yeah. So, just learn from mistakes? Yeah. Classic, right but too early? Yeah. Why does that happen to me? No, I mean, like, joking aside, right? Joking aside, like, yeah, it was a huge mistake to do, like, we did pretty much everything on Miz's stream for a year, which was absolutely a mistake. But it wasn't all bad, right? There was a lot of pros. One of the pros was, like, Miz kind of got used as, like, like, he used the popularity as, like, a force multiplier to kind of, like, propel him forward. But the problem is like now you're putting a bunch of OTK resources into one basket, and if anything happens, right, whether it's real or not real, and they get attacked and bullshit happens to them, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, yeah, so that's like a whole thing. Sounds like you're losing interest in being part of OTK. No, I'm telling you right now, I'm more freaking fired up and juiced than I've ever been. Because it's like, it's very personal to me. Miz sounds like he's done every other stream now, though. It's hard to tell how much is real exhaustion of streaming versus just being over it. Well, again, that's the problem with putting all your eggs in one basket. That's some of the negatives, right? The pros, it's like you have like think of it as like a market cap, right? Where Miz is really good. When Miz is at his best, he's great, right? He's one of the best at his best. But then, you know, inevitably, and this goes for everybody, this is a universal thing. People will get burned out. People will get tired. Chat, is he still downloading Oblivion? Oh my gosh. I'm just doing some, oh wait, am I in the Oblivion section? Oh my, okay, I thought I was supposed to be just chatting. Frick! Chat was right. Yeah, it's human nature to get tired, right? It's human nature to get tired. It's human nature to human nature to get tired, human nature to get burned out. And that was a big part of what happened, where you have a bunch of people who are now doing sponsors not for themselves, they're doing sponsors for other people, right? So we hire people, and you have a production team, and you have marketing people, you have business people who are going to go get deals and all this stuff. And essentially now you're just like a hamster on a wheel working only to pay their salaries, and then you're losing bandwidth, right? You're losing bandwidth because you can only do a certain amount of sponsors or a certain amount of big streams before you get tired, right? Like everybody has a certain amount of time in a day and like the amount of planning and all the effort. So some people are like the Energizer Bunny and they're crackheads. Other people, AKA most normal, reasonable people in life, they need some time off. They need to have some kind of a reset just to get their creative juices flowing and everything, right? Have you guys considered rebranding, getting rid of the name OTK? I feel like that would fix a lot of problems. Maybe I'm too logical about this. What does that mean? Having a different name doesn't mean anything. You gotta fix things on the back end. You gotta fix things procedurally. You gotta be better at making certain decisions. You don't want to repeat the same mistakes of the past. Changing the name means nothing, right? But you're not the only person to say that. A lot of people say that. But what does it mean at the end of the day? It doesn't mean anything. You know? So you didn't praise the true meaning of OTK. So the name, the One True King was my suggestion. That was my whenever we were kind of coming up with names. I said One True King, and the king is supposed to be the content, right? And the idea behind the content is king. It's like at the end of the day, like the thing that matters most is like we want to put on a good show, put on a good stream, do all that. That was like the goal of what I was thinking with OTK, right? Or with One True King. You know? Yeah. Why do people in the org say this is my org, not this is our org? People in the org saying this is my org, I think is not a big deal. Because it is, right? It is NMP's org. It is Tipsout's org. It is Esfand's org, right? All this stuff. These are all true, right? Because mine and ours is still the same. Now, it's everyone's org, Kit Comrade. It's our org, Kit Comrade. But like all these things are true. But there's a difference in saying that like this is my thing in a certain context, right? Like Asmund did this a lot. And the reason why he would do this is because it was better for Asmund's audience and Asmund's YouTube viewers and stuff like that. So like he would make YouTube videos where it was like, I did this. This is my org. This is this and that. When in reality, it's like, no, that's not. It wasn't just Asmund at all, actually. But like that's what he would do, or his editors would do, in order to. It was algorithmically more pleasing to the people clicking on his videos. You know? It has a non-cooperative sound to it, IMO. That's why I was asking. Well, no, I agree, actually. I mean, you know, like, so this is actually something that I had a big gripe with, and I brought this up early on, and eventually I kind of stopped doing it too for the same, like, algorithmic reasons, right? Do you think OTK will ever branch out into esports? I'm not going to say no, but, like, we did at the very beginning when we realized it's not good for us back then. Starts talking business, picks up pen to look professional. True. Only catch you can save out the damn near destroyed it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. So esports is not what it was in the past. No, you can do esports the right way. It's just for us it doesn't work. Do you think it was a mistake to quit the YouTube channel? The YouTube channel was something that like I mean, I always wanted to be on more YouTube videos and do stuff. And like at one point it was like Schlatt was running the YouTube channel before Schlatt left. And I was always like, hey, like I want to be on more YouTube videos. I'm down, let me know. But like I think Schlatt was trying to like capitalize on like the algorithm stuff of like pushing, like we need people who have better YouTube algorithm to go on videos to try and push those videos up. And at the time, like me and Nick both were like super like, hey, bring us on. And Nick's YouTube wasn't good back then either. Like my YouTube was better than Nick's actually for a while. But now Nick's doing amazing on YouTube now. I'm talking about at the very beginning. So, now here was the problem with this. And this was what I said, but now I'm not the big YouTuber, so I don't know. But this was what my thought process was back then. Was like, Schlatt should be on all the YouTube videos, but then he should have like me come on, Nick come on, whoever, right? Miz, Emmy, whoever comes on who doesn't maybe necessarily have like the big YouTube audience, but they can kind of the audience can become acclimated to these people, and then eventually it gets to the point where Schlatt doesn't have to be on every video. Now this was like from years ago. This was my suggestion. Now we didn't do it this way, but that's what I thought. I thought that it would be good to do it this way so that we can expand out the YouTube audience for everybody, and that way everybody can have a stronger YouTube algorithm, and that way whenever we want to do YouTube videos, we don't have to have everybody or certain people there in order for the video to do well, right? People see the video or see the video as like, oh, this is an OTK video, and because it's an OTK video, I'm gonna watch because I like all these guys. That was what my suggestion was. That's what I thought would be a good idea. But again, I'm not the big YouTube guy, so I don't know. Schlatt thought we needed a, like I was thinking about the fishing pole. Schlatt was thinking about the fish, because he was saying, well, we need to get the channel up to a certain threshold by getting more big videos over and over again over time, and then kind of jump to that point. As I think what Schlatt was thinking. So yeah. Do I have that now? Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this is what I thought at the beginning. Schlatt was right? I don't know. I don't know if Schlatt was right or I was right. I have no idea. All I know is that the YouTube channel is not doing anything right now. And I would like to do more YouTube videos. So I'm at the point now where, I mean, you guys know, like, I'm very, I say it jokingly, but I'm like, I'm as motivated now, if not more motivated than ever, than to, like, how do I put this? I've always been a leader. I've always been in charge of things. Whether I tried to be or whether I didn't try to be, it always kind of, things just would fall in my lap over time. Whether it was in high school sports, whether it's you're just growing up, college, everything. So when we started OTK, I would be very like,
Can you stop talking and let us watch Nymeria? She is our queen, Nymeria.
So I'm I'm also not somebody that like I felt like I had to be the leader all the time. So I'm very good at just being like, okay, like I can take a step back and do this or do that. And shut up or at least talk like Cornwood. So like I wasn't like that. I could be like, yeah, I can take a step back and do this or do that, or kind of like we lead as a group. And that is how OTK is going to work going forward. It always has, it always will. It's always going to be a group working together. Okay. At the end of the day, there was never one leader. There was never one like unanimous, like this person had say over everybody else. Never. It's never been like, I don't know. Some people think like Miz was that at one point. Some people think Aswin was that at one point. Never.
True.
Right?
Lead your ass off screen.
So
let us see cat.
True. Yeah. So, because that's not what it was.
I'm a great leader, one of the best.
Who's next OTK member to get canceled? Hopefully it's me, because every time somebody gets canceled, they like double or triple their stream viewership. And look, I could use all the help I can get. Yeah. Yeah, we're due. It's been 8 years. When it comes to controversy, your bulletproof best leader. No, thanks. I appreciate it. So, talk about something controversial. Snape killed Dumbledore. Dude, come on, just please show feet. That's for next stream. Yeah. Let me go back to what I was saying. You never say anything controversial.
Hello,
Let's
would
step it up.
anyone
Start with
help
some
me,
favorites.
Elder, my scrolls? I seem to have lost them in Oblivion.
True. Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Tip said he doesn't want to be about sponsors now, but we're going to okay, well, so here's the thing. The bottom line is, if you want to do big events and big streams, if you want to do that, you are going to need sponsors in order to be able to fund the project and pay for your production team and pay for the people that are going out and getting the stuff done. You know? Start the shower stream, bozo. Shower stream next Wednesday. Next reset. I feel like if you bring back YouTube, you should take notes from how the Sidemen did group YouTubes and have low effort collab content as well as the higher production content. Yeah, there's a mix there. There's a mix. But like, for example, something like Top Streamer wore the shit out of everybody, right? It was so many. Now, it was pretty good content. Don't get me wrong, especially last year. Last year's Top Streamer was like, I thought pretty damn good, especially towards the end. But like, we needed to do that in order to pay people's salaries, right? We had to do that, even though it took a lot. I mean, dude, there was times where I would be like traveling and I'd be doing something and it's like, okay, I would have to like, I remember driving for 2 hours while I was in New York in order to be able to do a Top Streamer stream because nobody else could do it. And I was like, okay. So I took an Uber for like an hour and I like drove and I had to cancel something. Like I was doing like crazy shit, right? And then I didn't do whatever it was I was going to do that day. But the thing is that's the way that I am, and everybody should be wired, right? It's like when you have ownership in something, where you're like, this shit is mine. My name is on this shit, right? I want it to be good. And like I like, it's the way, part of it's the way I was raised, right? Like my dad moved to America and took the hit, he took the sacrifice, and he put the onus on himself so that his future son and the future generations could have a better life, right? So if you have a business, if you own a business and that's something you want to do, like you need, like in my head, like you need to operate in that same way. You know? He's got a pen, he's right. I also have my Uber Eats here. Be right back. So, so yeah, I mean that's just something that like, if something has your name on it, you have to have a sense of pride in that, you know. Have some pride, like that's the way that I was raised, you know. So, for me, I'm like, yeah, like I will do the annoying thing. Which is like, now don't get me wrong, Top Streamer is fun. And it was a good show, especially last year was actually a good show. But like, if I'm doing like a thing where I'm in New York traveling, like, yeah, that's a huge pain in the ass for me to have to go do all this stuff.
Yesterday, my son, Donald Jr., helped my elder S scroll through Facebook to find the best clips of Esfand Seal twisting people into oblivion.
True. We're going to go back to Oblivion today. Would you actually enjoy it? Yeah, I did, actually. But sometimes I do cooking streams, but today I wanted to order. So yeah. So kind of, yeah, back to what I was saying. This is all like part of the job, right? Like, and it goes back to what I was saying originally with like equity. I don't get any salary from being an OTK. Or sorry. As somebody who started OTK, I don't get any salary. Tips gets a salary because he retired from streaming and he does back-end stuff full time. But we don't, the rest of the founders and owners don't get salary because we were like, okay, well, we get paid from our streams. We need to not take salaries so that we can pay for the people to do their jobs, right? So you all get scammed. I mean, it's not getting scammed. It's also, anytime you have a startup business, you have to not get, you don't have to not get paid, but it's more than likely that you will not get paid and not take a salary at the very beginning because you need to be able to build out the business. You know, tips in the back end, pog. That's not what I meant. So yeah. Shouldn't be that way forever, though. No, absolutely not. Like, you would expect, like, after, like, 3 or 4 years that you'd get to a point where you can take some kind of salary, right? But we were not at that point. Yeah, it just takes time, you know? Start New York with Forsen. Dude, Forsen is just real. He's I don't know, just... I feel like Forsen is just too... it's like kind of like this like woke DEI community, you know? And it's just, I'm not really about it. True. Dude, Forsen, people used to think Forsen's chat was so racist. like 8 years ago. They kind of were. The biggest asset in OTK is you guys. Whenever you get together, it's great. You should do it more and casually. Well, that's my whole point, right? Like, how much is that something that I've talked about? Like, I really am trying to like kind of rally the troops here and get people back together to doing stuff. You know, and I do care who it is. I do care who it is. So, everyone has been doing stuff though. People have started doing stuff together again, which is great. Like, also, don't buy into the negativity. A lot of times, and listen carefully to this, people will convey things in a way that they want to convey to an audience in order to make them think or believe certain things that are to their own personal benefit. So, for example, if I'm a streamer, how many times have you watched a streamer and that streamer is not doing a certain meta or a certain type of content, so they shit talk it? Now, I'm going to say even I've done this a little bit. To be fair, even I've done this, but there's a difference. I will, like, I'm going to use OnlyFans as an example, right? But guess who's right? I said it was toxic. I said it was weird. I said things got bad. And then what happened in the next couple months? You know? Classic right, but too early. Yeah. But you'll see certain people will do this all the time. They did the raid and stopped. Classic. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I said. Remember people were mad at me for saying I was like, this isn't, like, I know what the plans are. Like, I talked to Soda. Like, I know what the plan is for them to do the raid and then that's it. And people got mad at me. I was like, what? Like, that's so disrespectful. These people are pouring their hearts into this. I'm like, what? I don't know how people weren't expecting toxicity. The first OnlyFans was full of shit talking and throwing people under the bus. It was, but it wasn't nearly as bad as this. And I actually told this to Miz and Soda and everybody. I said, I don't even want to play because of these things. And they were like, no, dude, it won't be that bad, whatever. And then it was actually so much worse. You know? I'm talking about the toxicity was worse, New Gash. Content-wise, it probably was a little bit better, but it was really bad. The RP was the fun part and they killed it. The toxicity was really bad. Toxic equals views though. That's the thing. It's like, what's your moral compass, right? Like, what do you care about in life and like with your stream? Some people genuinely don't care and they just like, they have like no morals, right? And a lot of times people, and you'll see this with streamers, they will throw somebody else under the bus or they will you know what they'll do? You know that scene in The Lion King where Mufasa is trying to claw back and then Scar can save him? You know? And instead he's like, and then Mufasa falls and dies. Pay very close attention to the streamers that do this shit. These are bad people. Spoilers? Oh, my bad. L fall damage. Yeah. I pay very close attention to the people that do this, and I'm like, yeah, that guy's a rat. Yeah, the difference was Scar didn't know that there were cameras there. Streamers, like the rat streamers that do this are the other way around. They'll be fine, but then if the cameras are on, then that's when they act that way. You know? I was gonna watch that tonight. Dude, I'm sorry. Name names? There's too many, but like all the people that did that shit to Pirate. You know? Like Pirate screwed up. But you had all these guys that were like pushing the Pirate software button when, I mean, they all screwed up, right? But they knew that it was like meta to shit on Pirate when like this guy was already getting like from every angle. Like, dude, it does not feel good. Like, imagine like every day you wake up and every direction, every avenue of your life that you look in, it just feels like everybody hates you. And every small streamer, every small content creator was like, oh, this is my chance to get like 100K view YouTube video. To get a big clip out of this. Whether or not they were being 100% intellectually honest or not about the entire situation. Because like, the truth is like, yeah, Pirate played bad, right? So did everybody else. But the response to what happened was far disproportional to what it was. I mean, I don't think so, Joe Schmuck. I think there's also like you get prickly sometimes whenever it feels like everybody's coming at you super hard. Like what Yamato did was disgusting. I thought that was so gross. The way Yamato reacted when Yamato was like almost as responsible, and the guy was just sitting there like freaking out when I'm like, bro, and what did he do? At the end, he blinded the boss, immune. He didn't do shit. Yo, what's up, Bonnie? I'm live. I'm good. Can I put you on speaker? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? How's it going? Smash that like button. Don't forget to follow. Hit subscribe.
True.
Yeah.
So what
What? Okay.
So what's up? What's going on?
Sorry.
Wait,
Oh.
Hold on, I'm driving through the tunnel. Can't hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry, there's
Okay, well,
this guy's like
phone
riding
right
my
now.
ass.
Sorry, I'm on the phone right now. Right? Could you just hang on for a second, please?
Yeah, just give me a second. Dude, this guy. Okay, I'm literally going like 5 over the speed limit, and this guy's just flashing his brights at me.
Dude, this guy in front of me is going so fucking slow. Like, move your big ass white Escalade, you. Oh my god.
It's so. I don't know why this person like riding my ass. Hold on a second. Let me.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna change lanes. I'm gonna change lanes. Give me a second.
Oh my god! Finally, he's changing lanes.
Wait, why? Okay, now they're following me. I gave them a free. Dude, this is so.
Wait, why am I following him?
Wait, I'm driving a Tesla. It's autopilot. 1 second, let me run this red light.
I'm running red. As soon as you said Tesla, I thought.
Okay.
Anyway, no, I was just calling. Thanks for calling, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. You know, I wasn't doing anything, so I figured I'd give you a call.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I have to go be on the phone, so I guess I'll talk to you later.
All right, dude. I mean, let me know if you need anything, and I will. I'll see what happens.
All right, dude. Yep. Let me know if you need anything, and we'll get that done.
All right. I can. I'll let you know later.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Let's make it happen.
All right. Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. I think it's gonna be great. We're gonna make it happen. Sounds like a plan, dude. Keep me posted.
All right, dude. Wait 1 second. Hold on. Someone's on the other line. It was the wrong number. Oh, 1 second. Somebody else is calling. Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was on the other line. Yeah, dude, it's actually obnoxious. I'm like in the middle of work, and they just keep calling me all the time. It's so freaking annoying. It's like.
Yeah. I get the same thing. My phone is constantly ringing. Like, I'm super.
Here, actually, do you want to talk to them? Here, let me merge calls.
Oh yeah, we should merge the call.
Yeah, I just merged it. Hey, can you guys hear each other? Yeah. It said Bonnie and Bonnie. Okay. Anyway, oh, 1 second, I have a phone call. Yo, how's it going? I'm live.
That was weird. The other Esfand was not responding. Oh, hi, you're alive. Hi.
Hey.
What's up? How's it going?
How's it going? So what are you up to?
So wait, why'd you call me?
I don't remember.
Oh, what are you up to?
Wait, when? I'm live.
Oh, you called me just now.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I had this appointment with a contractor. Yeah, he was gonna come out and he was gonna actually build a water slide in the house to go down to the stairs. And then
I could do it for cheaper.
Do you think you can do it for cheaper?
I can do it for cheaper. I think I could do it for cheaper. It's a water slide that goes down the stairs.
Yeah, but we don't have a pool, so it's just a water slide.
I could do it for cheaper.
Okay.
How much are they?
Like 15.
I can do it for 14.
Okay. Can you do it for 16?
I can do it for 13.
I don't know if I can do 13.
Like 13 grand, right?
No, $13.
Oh.
Canadian.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I can do
what?
12.
I think it's
can
like
do 12.
yeah, I think it's like
I can
15.
do 12. I can do 12.
They do 12:30?
On what day?
I mean any day. I usually go live at 12. At least that's what I tell them.
Okay, so 12:30 can you do 1?
We got to do at least I'm going to need at least 10,000.
Okay. I could do 10. Well, I could be there early. I could do 10.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, so where are you going? Sounds like you're in the car.
Yeah, I'm driving to Boston.
We are keeping
Oh,
Nymeria.
are you actually?
You can rip her
Yeah.
from Esfand's cold
You're
dead
joking.
hands.
Yeah, I'm moving to Boston. Yeah, we're packing up. We're packing up to Boston.
Oh, that's why you were talking about cream pies the other day.
Yes.
Because of Boston.
Yep. Banana cream pie, cherry cream pie.
Right.
Oh, Dean and I went to UT.
I was speaking of cream.
Yeah, Dean and I went to Texas, and we paid like $50 to pie a bunch of people.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, cream pie like 10. How many cream pies did we have, chat? On that stream? It was like 10 cream pies for like $50.
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to chat.
Oh. Anyway.
Can we have some room here? Like, what the hell, Bonnie?
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
anyway, well, that's nice that you're going to Boston. Are you actually driving to Boston?
No, I'm gonna fly there though for
Wait, where are you going? I'm so confused.
for PAX.
Where are you driving to?
I'm driving to my room. I'm sitting at my desk.
What the hell?
I'm live.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you while you're live. All right, I'll let you go, dude.
All right, I'll see you later. Okay. Yeah. What was I talking about? Clips.twitch.tv/create. Dude, great link, man. Dude, sick link, dude. Dude, isn't it crazy how this guy, I couldn't get him out of the house or out of his room for years, and this guy freaking moves without telling me, and then he's just he's just IRL and all this shit? Dude, freaking F Grayson, dude. F that guy. So, Twitch.tv, Esfand, check this out. Because you locked the door from the outside? No, I locked it from the inside. I wanted to watch the draft stream more intently, but your broadcast would reveal the pick before Roger went on stage, and I want to see the pomp and circumstances. Does it look great?
Fuck you, Grayson.
I'll mute another tab. So, hold on. Do you guys not? Is it worse or better that we have the picks before the official broadcast? There it is, my man.
Is AT&T here? Oh, I have some choice words. Can you hear me now? AT&T? Because, oh, I got some freaking choice words for you. Squeak's hairline speedrunner.
Why did they send Squeaks Squeaks what is this, a cookie of tips out?
Of the year. Custom made?
Why did they send him a tips out cookie? Okay, so what else? What was the last thing I was talking about? And then I'll eventually talk about the Belichick video.
Tips quicks in.
The pirate stuff. Yeah, that was the end. I was talking about like streamers will talk down on something that they're not a part of. Like, for example, remember whenever I was doing GTRP, like people who don't do RP start shit talking RP because what they want to do is they want to relate to people who what they want to do is they want to put down other content that somebody else is doing that either they can't do or don't want to do in order to get their audience to not watch it. and it's super cringe, right? It's super, super cringe. But this happens all the time. Streamers do this shit. And it's like, you got to pay attention to this stuff. And it's like, they're all like little like micro, like, I don't know what to call it, but like, they're like little micro attacks that people make in order to try and like kind of feed into a certain sort of feeling or emotion. And it starts making the audience weird. It does. Yeah. Almost subliminally. You know? It screams insecurity. Absolutely, Larens. Absolutely. And you see this with people, and when you see it, you know. You know in your head. Like, okay, that's what this person does. Because Esfand sending woke with microaggressions. Hold on. Hold on. Don't you dare put that word on me. I've seen tons of streamers doing that. Yeah, it's cringe. But that's why they do it. And they're being dishonest, right? What they're doing is they're scared, they're insecure, they think that, oh, I don't want my viewers going to go watch the other people. And because they don't want to lose their viewers. You know? Yeah, it's very weird, dude. It's very weird. And a lot of that comes from not respecting the intelligence of the audience. Like, for me, dude, I know the people that watch. You guys are like freaking 30, okay? Like, I know my audience is like fairly mature. So it's like, I'm not going to be able to bullshit you guys, right? Now, on the same front, not only will I not be able to bullshit you guys, I don't even want to. It's exhausting. It's like, I think it's like reprehensible. It's like, I'm like, dude, for lack of a better phrase, the thought of it makes me give myself the ick. Okay? I know I sound like a 20-year-old girl from LA by saying that, but that's the best way I can describe it. You know what I mean? If Dean is React God, what does that make you? A golden god. I am a golden god. Always Sunny reference. Okay. My tools. These are my things. My tools. It's fetish shit.
You're an Adonis.
Yeah. You just forfeited the old audience thing. True. Yeah, what's up, Alley Kitty? So, like, yeah, I mean, I do feel like a lot of times over the years, I kind of like, my wrath knows no bounds. Yeah. I feel like I've given up a lot over the years. Like in the last few years, I kind of gave up a lot of like my own personal sort of like things that I may or may not want to do. No, not may not want to do. Things that I may want to do in order to do things that I thought that I was like supposed to do. And by the way, I am still going to do that to some degree. So I had this realization. This happened way whenever I first started streaming and I got banned. Sometimes part of being an adult is doing something that you might not really want to do in order to get to a place where you want to be and be able to do the things that you want to do, right? Like it's a part of life and it's part of getting older, and you have like certain like these trials and tribulations and these obstacles that come about. Like you have to be able to climb them, and it's never going to be easy. But like you have to go to work before you can retire. You know? Now there's a line, you know. Man, I needed to hear that. I just got laid off. That's unfortunate timing. but you know, yeah. That's unfortunate. Well, Jackass laughs. Well, it's the timing of it is funny, you know? So, you know, he laughed too. He Omega laughing. Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to go up and pee in the middle of the night, but it just has to be done. True. Yeah. I'm making it funny. Can't be down always. Yeah, I mean, if you're always down about something, then, I mean, it's life. Like, it's not, I feel like years ago, whenever I was younger, I thought it, like, losing your job, I kind of thought was like, did you guys feel this way? I felt like if somebody lost their job, it was embarrassing whenever I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, dude, that is not in the slightest. I don't feel that way at all. Because layoffs and things happen. Depends on how you lose it, though. Well, whenever I was a kid, I didn't understand that, like, how life worked and how business works and how, like, sometimes just, like, companies need to have, like, a different plan and you just got to do different things. I didn't know, you know? So, like, the only way to lose your job was to essentially get fired for doing something stupid. Whereas sometimes just things aren't in the cards. So, a guy at work groped a girl at a Christmas party, so he was fired. Is that embarrassing? Yes. Not the fired part, but the grope part is really embarrassing. Yeah. I was laid off for 3 months earlier this year because the tariffs are back now, but rumors are like, yeah, I mean, that's just, it sucks, but it's not like, and don't get me wrong, just because something is not embarrassing doesn't mean that it's not hard, and doesn't mean that it's not frustrating, and it doesn't mean that it's not like, again, I talked about like the obstacles and the trials and all that. It's not any of those things. Or sorry, it isn't, oh shit. It isn't not any of those things. That's like the worst way to phrase it. But it's valid to have like a feeling of being upset about it, but also like it's something that is so common now that you shouldn't feel bad about it as much on a personal level, and you shouldn't look down on yourself as a person or as an employee, as a worker, and the value of your work. You shouldn't feel down on any of those categories from yourself. And anytime a door seems to close doesn't mean that every other door is closed. It just means that you now have an opportunity to look around and see what other doors are open. I mean, layoffs because of pandemic or President effing everyone in the A isn't your fault, but peeing your pants at a company-wide Christmas party is. True. Sometimes you got to close the door and open a window. Yeah. Unless you're in a house of mirrors, then you're effed. Oh, crap. Improve lockpicking. True. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a personal story for me. So whenever I worked at SMU, I had kind of like a weird like payment structure and stuff to be able to work the job I did the way that I did it. It's very typical like classic stuff, right? To be able to like, because I was essentially working full time, but I was a student worker because I was still taking classes, so you could still pull from like a student worker fund to be able to pay me, right? Nothing crazy. But here's the thing, whenever I was no longer taking classes, I had to be hired on full time. And whenever that happened, I ended up getting like the rug pulled out from underneath me from admin up top, because they're here looking at the numbers, and they're like, well, we can't afford a 6-figure job for this position right here, you know? So what ends up happening is I end up taking time off, taking care of myself, right? Kind of recovering. I start making YouTube videos. Next thing you know, Rep Prio, the Paladin Police Force. Esfand, all this stuff. I start playing Vanilla WoW on a private server, and I start making these videos, and the rest is history, right? Ironically enough, the old coaching staff leaves. I had left such a good impression on that old coaching staff. I'm doing great, Captain Dreadspine. I had left such a good impression on that old coaching staff that whenever I left, not only that, this is actually something I'm very proud of. So I managed a group of students. I managed a group of students over at SMU while I was a student. A lot of them didn't know I was a student until they like found out. I was also a little bit older, right? I transferred and I graduated late and all that. So, something I was very proud of. It's very important to me the way that you treat people and the way that you work with people, whether they're above you or whether they're below you on this imaginary totem pole. I think it's very important to treat everybody with the respect that they deserve, based on merit, right? There's like a baseline level, and then there's like an additional, there's like a secondary based on merit level of respect that you have for people, right? Bus driver, thank you for the 7 months. Thank you, dude. So, back to what I was very proud of. I had a great relationship with that old coaching staff, all that stuff. But I get a call from the new staff that comes in. This is Sonny Dyke's staff that comes in. And this is after I'd been streaming on YouTube for a while, and I had just gotten banned on YouTube. So I was just starting to stream on Twitch again. I get a call, and they're like, hey, so we heard about you we've heard of you, of these guys, but there's a student here. The student was a freshman whenever I was at SMU, or freshman. He was going into his senior year now. But that guy that student that I treated well when he was a freshman, when he was a sophomore, whatever it was, told the new staff, hey, you got to bring Esfand back. This guy knows how this whole thing works, like the back of his hand. And he's like, you gotta get in touch with this guy. I still have his number, whatever. So whenever I was streaming from the stadium, again, that's how I ended up back at SMU, was IRL one guy. Yeah. That student that I helped manage. I managed, actually. No, his job specifically I helped manage. There was another group that I solely managed, but him I helped. Because I was a good, like, superior, quote, he essentially recommended me to come back and to do that. So whenever I got banned, I had the opportunity to like keep streaming and do that. And then I streamed from the stadium at the 50-yard line. Exalted reputation. Yeah. I was just rep grinding. I was a WoW player. So, my point is, just because certain doors close and something like you might lose your job, you might get laid off or something, doesn't necessarily mean that the best door for you to have open was in that same hallway that door was open to, right? And then, I mean, now I'm here, right? I feel like everybody in life, like everything that you do in life, it's all kind of like this culmination of, it's a culmination of all your experiences, whether these experiences are business related or not business related, or kind of interpersonal social experiences, whatever it is. So historically, like, I've always done well in like leadership settings, like whether it's guild leading, whether it's being like a team captain or something like that. And I think a lot of that just has to do with, like, I was very lucky to experience the things that I have. And I have like super like giga supportive parents that put me in positions to where like I could learn to fend for myself and learn to like learn things for myself, you know? So, Esfand voted most likely to elect himself team captain. True. Do you feel like ADHD ever seriously held you back in life? Yes. I had a really hard time in college until I got officially diagnosed with ADHD. But the net result of everything was positive. It's good that I changed majors. It's good that I had trouble in class. It's good that I took an extra year to graduate. Because I would not have had the experiences that led me to be who I am today if it wasn't for that that mountain that I had to climb. You know? Like, I was a computer science student. It became work, and as soon as it became work for me and it's like I wasn't enjoying it, it became really hard for me to do it. I remember the day that I was like, I have to go to a doctor. I remember the day. I was sitting there, and I did everything right from like, you know, they're like, sit in the T, first row, center column of the classroom so you can sit there and you can listen to the teacher. And I was taking like a bonus class. What class was it? I was taking a bonus math class. I think it was like, what was it? Oh, it was Diffie Q. Yeah, it was Diffie Q. Yeah. So I was taking differential equations, and wait, have I told the story? How come you guys just guessed Diffie Q first thing? Or is that maybe that's like a normal like summer class that people take? Anyway, so I was sitting there in my differential equations class, and we're talking about like solving a systems of equations using matrices or something. And I remember being dead center in the classroom, staring at my teacher, and all I hear is this. Like I'm in an episode of The Peanuts. And I'm like, why your mouth, like, you're talking, you're making noise, and I can't comprehend a word you're saying. What is wrong with me right now? And I'm like, I gotta go to a doctor. and this is so I'm one of those people that I'm very hard-headed. Like, I didn't believe in anything that was like mental health, anything like that. I was like, no, like ADHD ain't real. Mental health. I didn't believe in any of that stuff, right? Growing up, because from me and my experience, I always felt like people would be like, oh, I'm so quirky and I don't pay attention and I'm loud. I have ADHD. That's what I felt about ADHD kids. And to be fair, a lot of them do that, right? They use it as like an excuse to act out in a certain way, right? People will use some kind of like diagnosis as an excuse to act out in a certain way. So like for me, I was like, okay, yeah, there's no way I have ADHD. There's no way. The heck? How'd I move? And I don't think they were faking it. I think they do actually have ADHD. I just think that they use it as an excuse, right? You're like the ADHD poster child? Yeah, exactly. But like having like true ADHD, like as an adult, especially, it blows ass. It sucks. You know, your OBS has ADHD, true. It sucks. And sometimes, and I'll take it a step further, it can be kind of embarrassing sometimes. Like, not really. It's not like a huge deal for me, but it can be kind of embarrassing because it's like, if people don't know, they're like, oh, this guy's retarded. I'm like, no, like, I'm not misunderstanding, or I'm not like not paying attention, or I'm not doing any of that on purpose, right? It's just, I just get distracted easily. Or Or like, sometimes it's embarrassing in the sense of, this is actually just as bad, if not worse. Feeling like you're being disrespectful. Ardred, thank you for the 25 months, dude. Thank you, man. I just graduated with a master's degree and I can't get a job. Any advice? When did you graduate? You say you just graduated. Like right now? Or like...
53 months. Here's a bird getting obliterated at 200 miles per hour link.
Oh, shit. Wait, should I watch this on stream? Thank you for the 53 months, Kyle. Oh my... I don't want to watch that again. That's crazy. I think we get way less retard labeling with this stuff now than we used to because more people have it. Yeah. Third screenshot of the Steam page. Wait. Okay. Congo's Dark comes out April 30th, by the way. 2 days. How about that? 2 days until Congo's Dark finally comes out.
All over X/Twitter, and they even brought it up on Pat McAfee's show. What's your opinion?
Dude.
100 men versus one silverback gorilla. No weapons, just hands in arena/octagon-like setting.
Dude, everybody is talking about 100 men versus one gorilla. And part of me is like, why does anybody care? But you know what the other part of me says? Thank God that people are finally talking about some stupid meme bullshit again for once. They can take a break from all the dog shit brain poison that they've succumbed to over the years, and they can talk about something that literally does not matter and just be at peace with themselves. You know? Like, is guys freaking just like, you know what? Debate something that doesn't matter. You know? Like, I don't know how much more you can see, like, this E3 versus iDubbbz or freaking Hassan Asmongold. Like, dude, I'm just blow my brains out. Holy hell! Like, it's so exhausting. It's so bad. You know? Mm. 83. I'm at 83. Are you gonna finish Baldur's Gate 3? I want to. Oh. I just came back and you're eating again. I didn't finish eating the first time. I had one little taco. Oh, wait, I had a burrito too. Let me go get a water. Start the clock. I'll be right back. Paladin Edition. You got, hey, Red Bull gives you wings. Paladin Edition. Drink the bull to become the bull. Red Bull, sponsor me. Nymeria. Meow. Hi. Oh, frick. I said face tracker would be fixed next stream, and it wasn't. Made a comment about it, but didn't read it. Wait, what happened? Sorry, I was AFK. Mexican or Chinese food? Mexican food?
China.
What's good is fan?
My favorite tweet ever is Donald Trump talking about Cinco de Mayo. He was like, "Happy Cinco de Mayo. Don't forget to get Taco Bowl from Trump Tower." was so funny. He's so stupid. It was great. Okay. It's just like such a stupid tweet. It's so funny. Do you see that Trump was the reason Shador got drafted by the Browns? It is not the reason. Favorite cuisine? I'm partial to Persian. Iranian food. Paramount Money arrested someone eyes name for you. Did it since Wait. Nathan for you, Paramount Plus. Is Nathan for you still happening? Oh, no, he has a new show called Rehearsal. Dude, I think Nathan For You is one of the funniest shows ever. That is, like, amazing. Nathan For You is so funny. I don't think I saw this episode, though. Esfand, I think child poverty is bad. Guys, we need to give the kids jobs. End child poverty. Give the kids jobs, everybody. We're going to make jobs for all the children of the world. We're going to make jobs. We're going to put those kids to work. And we're going to end child poverty. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Child labor laws. That's right. We're going to make child labor laws. We're going to make sure children are allowed to be labor. They're allowed to get jobs. It is not illegal. Play Oblivion. Oh, yeah, we're going to play some Oblivion today. We are. Am I done talking about everything I was going to talk about? What other questions you guys have? What are you eating? Sirloin steak, flour taco with nothing else on it. Waffles or pancakes? Damn. Pancake. Oh wait, I
Looking
said
good,
flour.
my
I meant
dude.
corn. Corn tortilla, not flour tortilla. I like flour tortillas more. I don't really like corn tortillas. Do you ever have an issue with motivation because ADHD causes a fog, disallowing you to see the future that you're working for? It did until I didn't know this. I actually like have I found out a way to channel my energy in order to be able to see the future. So like I'm so I can take my like I can basically take my mana and I can channel it and I can be like I can see what's coming up next. But only for a short period of time. Like right now I know that chat is typing emote. They're just typing a whole bunch of people in chat are typing it and it's coming. And that allowed me to like essentially cut through my ADHD like brain fog. It's like a degree of clairvoyance more than foresight, I would say.
See, Esfand, this is why you would make a great pope. You could advocate for child poverty and no child would be poor ever again.
Against child poverty.
That's my streamer. Twangus first Tomer. And you...
That's enough food. Have you ever farted and crapped your pants? Yes. What was I saying? So, kind of, I guess, back to the OTK stuff and kind of what the plans are. Just being candid with you guys. I am more motivated now than I have been in years. To improve the inferior culture. Yes. I'm more motivated now than I have been ever. And not to say that I was ever... wait, was I ever demotivated? There was definitely times where I was demoralized. Where I felt like I had to do things out of character in order to I had to do things out of character for others in order to do stuff that I wanted. Like,
hey, sexy kiss me.
Yo, what's up, Agarom? Thank you for the 71 months, dude. Maybe doing RP. I just know this much. Like, apparently, like, Tibbs made a post that made it sound like we don't want sponsors anymore. I'll tell you what the end goal is. The end goal, like, this is the reason why we started Starforge and the reason why we started Mad Mushroom, the reason why we started, like, the other, we kind of, OTK changed from being, like, a content org to being more of, like, how do I describe it? It's more of, like, a sort of, it's like an umbrella, right? It's like an umbrella that has all these other companies that come off of it. And then the idea is, yeah, like a conglomerate. Conglomerate is good. that you can essentially get to the point where you can sponsor yourself. Monkey W umbrella. So that way, like, if we can have Mad Mushroom do well, and we can have Starforge do well, and we can have all these different businesses and all these other avenues of businesses do well, Mythic Talent, right? If these things can generate the revenue that we need in order to be sustainable, and we can hire people, we can pay jobs, or we can pay for their jobs, we can hire them, we can pay their salaries, and then we can make the content, like the elevated content that we want to do, then that's great, right? So that's why like I push things like Starforge so hard, or I push like I push like Mad Mushroom stuff so hard. For example, and this is something that like needs to get fixed, man. The fact of the matter is this is like, and I think a lot of this is my own doing. I want to make that clear. A lot of it is my own doing, but I do think that I've been put in like a really bad situation over the years, at times, and I've put myself in that bad situation over the years that is disadvantageous to me and who I am, and kind of what I want to do for the greater good, right? And the reason why I do that is I feel like everybody should do that, and it's like, surely at a certain point, it's going to come back around. And at times it has, and at times it hasn't. You know? So that's the thing. You're in an extremely self-centered industry and you're an outlier. Yeah, and I didn't feel like I was as much of an outlier as I once did, or as I do now. But I also don't think it's as bad as some people make it out to be. I think things are going to be good. It's a strength, not a weakness. It's a strength of character. But if you don't know how to manage it, it can be a weakness. I think a lot of like the extra Emily leave OTK. She doesn't have her OTK tag on Twitch. No. I mean, Will never put his stuff up either.
And if the streaming doesn't work out,
Will's an
I heard
OTK,
the
but he hasn't had any
Tiber
OTK
hotel in the
breakfast
Imperial
for a
City
year and a
needs a
half.
new dishwasher.
You gotta get that changed.
Maybe they'll even promote you to a chef if you do good. Order up.
So order up. Yeah, true. Order up. So my point being is like, I think things are going to be good. And I'm really, really heavily motivated to kind of freaking try and rally the troops. But like I said, there's a lot that's like kind of put me in a bad situation, or like I end up overextending and overreaching, and kind of this overextension of myself. And this is also who I am, dude. I've been like this my whole life. I want to be an everything bagel. That's who I am. That's a reason, like, when I play video, I play a paladin. Protection, holy, retribution. That is who I am. I do it all. I tank, I heal, I DPS. Okay? Is Oblivion? No, but it will be. And that's the way that I operate in real life as well. And Miz doesn't claim OTK. You seen the last one trying to make it. Well, I mean, just being candid. When you put your heart and soul and you care about something, truly, you're not going to let it go by the wayside easily. Kind of new here. Simple question. Is new American football game worth playing? Yeah. Super fun. Slopsy. Like, OTK wasn't like it's not like some like toy that I play with and then I move on to the next one. Right? Like OTK is me. I am OTK. Right? And that is a way, if any time that you make something or you take ownership in something, you don't take ownership in something, you take ownership of something. Right? And that shit has your name on it. And every single person needs to have that mentality in everything that they do in order to be able to passionately be able to drive it. You know? Do you think your view of OTK differs from the rest of the guys? I mean, not necessarily. My views on life differs from a lot of the rest of the guys, right? But like, it's not necessarily, no. But like that is the way that I operate, man. Like also like there's a lot of like viewer perception of things that we just never talk about or we never clear up, right? Certain people aren't going to clear it up because they're not going to clear something up in a manner that makes them look less, right? Or that takes away from them, I should say. So certain people are not going to do that, you know? One of these things, for example, could be like giving credit to a lot of the other people that are involved in something, or maybe something was somebody else's idea, right? Or maybe somebody else did something, but somebody else is getting all the credit for it. And the smallest amount of pay, like the smallest amount of effort that you can give to pay someone respect is just giving them the time of day of, hey, like give them the credit for something, right? When we end a production, when hey, we do a show, I go up to Jacob, dude, that was sick. And I don't just say that. I don't just say it because it's Jacob, right? I don't just say it because it's a job. I genuinely mean it. I feel it, you know? Hey, Peckies, thanks, dude. You freaking killed it today. Like, these are things that are important. And you fall into like this sort of like rhythm of like, oh, you get so used to seeing certain people so often. And I remember this happened to me in football. We would be in football and like players, like we would see each other so often that we wouldn't even say hi to each other because it was like, did I already see you today? I can't remember, right? But it's the smallest, the tiniest amount of respect that you can pay someone, and it means the world, you know? It really does. The Montgarra attorney was basically Tips and myself. The OTK Montgarra was Tips and me. Can you bring Ariel on stream? You saw it. True. That's part of having a healthy working relationship. It's good on you. Well, yeah, I mean, like, dude, you know, I sometimes like you can send one message to somebody and it goes a long way. Mass New Opponent, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you, dude. And it's important, right? I hear what Tips when I said Wild West was good. There was a lot of good with Wild West content-wise. There was also like, I don't know a lot of the details offhand, but there was also like a lot of complications, right? There's like a lot of stuff on the back end that like were good and not good. Like it was way too expensive, but it was good content, but you don't need to spend that much money to do content like that. Like it was so it was executed flawlessly though. Yeah, I mean that's just the production team. Like they killed it, right? Milena planned. I think that, I mean that maybe I'm wrong, but that was like the only. That was like the one OTK related thing that Milena did. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. But she planned the whole thing, and then the production team just executed it perfect. So, but it was, I mean, it was expensive, right? But that's the thing. We didn't have any sponsors or anything for it. And truthfully, you need someone, if you want to do stuff like that, you need to bring in money. Right? You need to bring in money to be able to pay for it. What's the point of work at that point if they're not collaborating on anything? Yeah, I mean, I feel like people should do more stuff together. And I mean, and we do, but also, dude, there's been a lot of like real life bullshit that people have had to go through, whether valid or not. Or like, I say valid, valid's the wrong word. Whether it's like fair or not. That has like kind of put people away, you know? Yeah, like Asmund never really, Asmund's role in the org was never really to like do stuff with other people. Asmund used to always go, like, I mean, dude, especially, you remember whenever I first moved to Austin, like me and Asmund would do a bunch of like IRL stuff, or we would do stuff together a lot more often. But like ever since the org started, like Asmund never really, that's not what he did. I mean, I don't think I've been on the stream with Asmund in ages. Asmund found out pretty quickly that he just, I don't know why. I actually hard disagree with him. But this is what he thinks. He's like, oh, like I don't really like fit in the group environment. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what? What are you talking about? But that's his own opinion, right? And that's how he feels. Okay, sure. So, like Miz leaving USA for 2 months, I don't think it really matters. I mean, obviously, like, nobody has known Miz longer than I have, right? And people said, doesn't help you have 2 top number members always talking about OTK being dead. Yeah, I actually don't like whenever they do that because I feel like they're pandering to an audience of people that already doesn't like them. And they do it because they say it because it's like, oh, it's funny. And but it's not true. Like, Tips is freaking on the back end working his ass off every day, right? I talk to Tips every day for hours, you know? And I've told them it sends mixed signals. So now some people get that you're kind of joking, but it reaffirms this opinion to a lot of people. And unfortunately, like, I don't know how or why, but like, man, I just didn't, I mean, I think some of it's my fault, inevitably. Some of it's my fault, right? Like I try and do too many things. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. And it has hurt like my stream and my brand. But the reason why is like, I was always trying to like do something. I just want to do things. I'm a doer. And most people are like happy just kind of getting their piece and moving on. Right? When is the EU trip happening? I don't know when I'm going to start. I talked about maybe going to the Cannes Film Festival, but now I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not. Everyone's pre-ordering Switch 2, so I snagged one of these.
It's being called the must-have tech gadget of the year. The Samsung Apex, which hits shelves today, streams video into your left eye, internet into your right eye, and sucks your dick all at the same time. Buzz has been building for the Apex. At a recent press event, Samsung promoted the device as the future of technology today.
Today's world, there's no reason to ever not be fully stimulated. With Apex, you can constantly be watching movies, checking Facebook, and having your penis sucked by a robotic mouth every second of the day.
Samsung spokesman Neil Werner is projecting the biggest sales in his company's history.
Are you kidding me? This thing does everything, plus it sucks your dick, all right? And I know what you're thinking, and yes, ladies, there is a version for you that eats you out. Hanging up Apple, we beat you to the punch on this one. Samsung's got you by the balls.
Werner is likewise unconcerned about consumer safety reports that having screens playing two different images less than an inch from one's eyes can cause motion sickness and even seizures.
Whenever something new comes out, people don't know what the hell to do with it. You know, some people are saying, but I don't need my dick mechanically sucked. But mark my words, you will get your dick sucked.
In spite of the almost $1,000 price tag, customers are raving about the device.
For my career, I do need the internet and TV and my dick sucked all the time.
I already have a TV and a girlfriend and a laptop, but to have all those in one device would be really nice.
Even a run of bad press about unsafe working conditions in the Apex factory in India have not dampened sales projections.
Yeah. Factory, switch up, blah, blah. How about you just plug your eyeball straight into the internet and get your cock sucked?
According to tech insiders, there are already rumors about a second-generation Apex with a 10-megapixel video camera and a little finger that tickles your asshole. And on tomorrow's tech trends, venture capitalists are lining up to give money to a random college dropout, hoping he'll make the next Facebook.
True. Oh, true. That's funny. That's funny. I push my fingers into my... Is OTK over? No, not at all. Asmund never had the majority shares of OTK. And it doesn't also it wouldn't have mattered regardless because the way we do like our voting structure is like everybody has an equal vote in ownership. Yeah. Chat, I'm back. Has he finished downloading Oblivion yet? Okay, I'm just chatting and reacting to stuff at the beginning of stream, okay? I'm getting back to doing this. How much time do you put into OTK at this point? How much would you like to? I'll be honest. In a perfect world, I want OTK and the crown, the logo. I want that shit on everything that I do. I want everything that I do to be OTK. That's what I want. I want that. That is why? Because that is mine. That is ours, right? That is the way when you start a company, when you start a business, when you start any sort of like thing, whatever it is, like you need to have a sense of pride in that, and you got to put that shit on the wall, right? Like that is what matters. Like that is what, like, you gotta, like Superman wearing the S on his chest. That is your shit.
Can confirm, hella true.
True. What's up, Best of Five Show? Hope you're doing good, man. So like, it's one of those things where it's like, I took a dumb look in the toilet, OTK. Yeah, I want to eat OTK. I want to shit OTK. That is how things need to be done. Okay? I want to eat OTK. I want to shit Starforge, and I want to piss Mad Mushroom. Okay? and I want to fart mythic talent. Like that is the way that I should operate. That is the way that everybody should operate when they want your shit. That is what matters, okay? That is like, it should be all consuming. It should be, that sounds painful. Listen, you thought kidney stones were bad. At least mushrooms are spongy. Like, but that is the way you need to like, that is the way you need to treat everything, you know? You need to live and breathe it. You should check out Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership book. You're going to give it to the doc who's getting your... Yeah. I'm going to give the doc an aneurysm, true. August through December is always your least amount of streaming due to so much travel. Are you going to try more streams this time around? I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't have any sponsors for the draft show, and that sucked. And last year, I had no sponsors for Tailgate until the end of the year. That sucked. And I lose a lot of money on hosting these big events. Like, people don't realize, man, I'm like $60,000. I don't even know. I think I'm like $60,000 in the hole from that draft show. And that draft show was incredible. I think it's one of the best shows on the internet. Like, I think if you're watching a draft show on the internet, like, I think the three best places to watch the draft, this is like, if you're talking about the first night of the draft, first round, Esfand's Draft Night Extravaganza, Pat McAfee, NFL Network. I got to watch a little bit of Bengal. I think Bengal does a great job at like his like coverage of the draft. Doing it because you're doing it because you love it, not from the money that you'll get a full return eventually. I mean, hopefully, right? But this is also year 3 of me doing the draft show. I mean, dude, we had Cam Cameron, head coach Cam Cameron, come on our show, said he watched the entire show, and he's like, I've known Peyton and Eli Manning ever since they were kids, and you guys are just as good as they are. You want to talk about like a vote of confidence? Holy shit. That was like, I actually felt like honored, you know? I talked to Robert Griffin a little bit afterwards, and he was like, dude, we should do more stuff together. And I'm down, dude. I love RG3. I've always liked RG3. Like having RG3 come on the show and he was great. I think Rob should stream. Running back Boston is freaking great. Boston Scott. Elijah got drafted. The SMU defensive end. He got drafted by the Bucks in the 5th round. And you're over here trying to put a monetary value on that kind of exposure comparing to 60K? Well, here's the thing. What exposure? Who knows about it? The show has to be able to pay for itself. I'm not going to lie, as a person who used to know absolutely nothing and not caring about American football before, just by passively watching you, it's grown to me just a little, even as an EU frog, because of the enthusiasm. Yeah, thanks, dude. Amon Green was incredible. And we had great guests, you know? RG3 is all right, but RG4, that'd be sick. I think this show is great because it humanizes the athletes, the talking heads, the people you see on TV, and you get a chance to like interface with them like streamers, right? People treat streamers differently than they treat like an actor, right? When a lot of times, like, we're doing bits and stuff, and people think that like something is real, right? Like, how many times does Nick say some dumb shit as a joke, but then people think it's real? It happens to Nick all the time. I don't know.
It was great seeing Green, but I only wish we
what's up,
still
Sam?
had Reggie White, Satch.
True. When we expect the Persian negotiator to make his WWE debut?
We have people that are babies.
That was the wrong button.
The Persians are great negotiators.
Streamers just have no brain cells and are incapable of doing anything or breathing. True. So, like, MTGO Beast, thank you, dude. Thank you for the 19 months. Like, I mean, I do the same thing, right? Where I'll just say, like, but people know that I'm joking. But I don't know why. I don't know why I get away with it so much more. The only time I didn't get away with it whenever it was in no jokes in the WoW section. No joking in the WoW section. But Siri, come over. Siri, we should go do something like right now. What? No, not Siri. Siri, you're not invited. Stop. No, you're not invited, Siri. As my friend's here. The issue is streamers are so used to becoming the joke of the meme that we forget that people might actually be taking us seriously. Yes, but people also need to learn to not take everything so seriously. Yeah. Because you don't bait those people like Nick or Asmon. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. Those boxes so organized are bringing me joy. Isn't that nice? A lot of people just take it seriously though, assuming the worst, let's try to get them canceled. I think getting canceled is not real. I think anybody who tries to cancel anyone only serves to grow them. And only the thing that they hate, they only make it bigger. Like, disagree? Can you give me an example? Call me Carson. Those guys canceled themselves. Anytime somebody got canceled and it like worked, it's because they canceled themselves. Because what they do is they freak out about it. Yeah. He still tried, but his friends canceled him. Yeah, Minecrafters are weird. I actually don't even know what happened with the Call Me Carson situation. But like Asmon, every time he gets canceled, doubles in size. Canceled, right? It's kind of, yeah. Now, here's the difference. I will say this. There's a limited number of things that people can get truly canceled for. And usually the things that people try to cancel other people for are not those legitimate things. So, yeah. Hopping to the right-wing grift isn't growth. I don't really like the phrase right-wing grift because I think all political content is grifting, and I think that people have been doing it for years, whether it's on the right or on the left. I think almost all political content is inherently grifting or pandering or whatever it is, but right-wing grift has become a buzzword that is kind of inauthentic. Years, centuries, true. Because, like, I'm friends with these guys. Like, Esfand is a friend of mine, but he does the same shit. Asmon is a friend of mine, but he does the same shit, right? But, I mean, that's their thing, I guess. I mean, I say it as a joke. Asmon is far more left-leaning than I think people think he is. Which I think is funny. But I say it as a joke. I keep calling him Libsman Gold. But people act like Asmon is like this, like, I don't know, like far-right extremist sometimes. But I think he's like way more left-leaning. Grifts don't have to be 100% sincere. It can be partial. The same effect. Yeah, it's like the pander. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think is with all political content. If you don't agree with a certain side, they think you're the devil. So here's my thing. This is something that bothered me for years. And you saw this a lot on like if you didn't agree with, like I consider myself kind of like in the middle right. That's where I would probably consider myself, right? I mean, it's just the way that I was raised, foreign parents, more traditional values, right? That's kind of where I am. You're right or am I right? So most people are centrist. That's true. Most people are in the middle, somewhere. But like there was a while where, yeah, even if you asked a question, you would get attacked, right? So what this would do is over time, people on the far left would attack people and push people who are sitting in the middle. Most people are just sitting in the middle, just trying to mind their own business. And then if you're on the far left doing crazy shit to somebody who's just sitting in the middle who doesn't give a damn about any of it, and it's like, okay, you're now inconveniencing me or you're making me feel a certain type of way about my passivity. And I don't know what you believe, but I'm going to find out and disagree with it. So you're now pushing me farther and farther to the side. You're actively working against your intent of trying to bring people to your side. So I had a coach that said this one time. A coach told me one time, they said, you generate buy-in from your players in one of two ways, right? You can get people to buy in and listen to you out of fear, or they can listen to you out of love, okay? If your players are afraid of you, then you can get them to do something, right? Oh, I don't want to run. I don't want to get in trouble and run. Okay, I'll do this thing right so I don't have to run. But if you can get that same player to pay attention, learn the playbook, run the play the right way, because they're like, yo, I'm out there and I want to fight for my team. I want to fight for my coach. That's when you get that true sort of passion that drives it, just like I was talking about when you are a part of something, like when we started OTK, right? Like, I want OTK to be Esfand and Esfand to be OTK. That is what I want. I want it to be all, like my heart and soul should be pouring into this thing. So, to that same sort of front, okay, why did I bring that up? And let's take that same sort of concept. And if I'm trying to teach you something, right? Or if I'm trying to share with you my opinion on something, and I come to you and I say, hey, I want to share this sort of thought or opinion or whatever it is, in such a manner that pushes you away, that ostracizes you, that makes you feel bad for feeling the way that you do currently, as opposed to bringing you in and saying, hey, you think this, and I disagree with the way you think because of these things. These are the counterpoints to what you think. And I'm telling you this out of a place of sincerity, not out of a place of condemnation, right? That's the only way that you can actually truly get people to listen to anything. Knocked, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you, dude. So, like, what opinions are we talking about, though? Like, it could be anything, right? But specifically, I'm using the example of people who are like far left pushing away people in the center farther and farther away. And then, yeah, I'm getting an ED pill ad. Okay, I don't know. This is the TED Talk portion of the stream. I just tuned in. I just kind of hit a point where I'm like, I don't really give a damn. And I'm just going to, because I used to talk about all kinds of stuff on stream. And I think I'm just going to do it, right? Now, a lot of times I would play WoW and I would just talk about stuff while playing WoW. But like, I kind of stopped talking about stuff for a while, but I'm just going to send it. and get back to kind of what I used to do, you know? Because I feel like there's not a lot of people that talk about the real shit anymore. And I feel like everything is so polarized and so dishonest because they're trying to push an algorithm, a social
You
algorithm.
have 3 new voice messages.
Oh, 1 second. I gotta check these.
First message.
Call me back, it's an emergency.
Okay.
Second message.
Please call me back, it's stuck in my zipper and I don't know what to do. Log!
Let's go ahead and skip this one. I think I'm lagging. Okay. Oh, I skipped it twice, I guess. So, OTK is still a thing? Absolutely. And it, yeah.
Love the stuff. Thanks.
How about you call him back? So, Inside Walrus, thank you, dude. Thank you for the 3 months. Who's an OTK? Me, Nick, Emmy. I don't know. I don't know about any of that stuff, Rykos. I'm completely like, yeah. Yeah. No, Bonnie is not, no. Well, I was talking about the rebrand thing. It doesn't do anything. A rebrand doesn't do anything inherently. Like, it's about the processes. It's about the background. Or the stuff going on in the background. That's what matters. So unless that stuff gets fixed, OTK without Miz ain't shit, bro. What has Miz done for the last 3 years with OTK? School does not last 3 years. Also, Schooled was not only Miz. Schooled was an OTK production. Miz hosted it. The gym built up his own brand, not OTK. Yeah. Isn't this playlist good? Camp Canute was a Canute thing. Camp Canute was like a Miz thing. But here's the thing. It shouldn't be. Because what did I say earlier? I think everything that I do, I want OTK slapped on everything that I do. Because I wanna have a sense of pride. I want that crown, that logo on everything. I'm like Superman, I want to wear that shit on my chest, right? It feels like sometimes you don't have that support, though. Yeah, you're right. To play devil's advocate, it wasn't OTK draft night. True. But I wanted it to be. There's a lot. Did you get your home gym gear stamped with OTK or Esfand? There's OTK all over my home gym. OTK didn't pay for it. I put that shit on my home gym. Actually, it has Esfand on it too, to be fair. Yeah, just yeah. So now don't misconstrue what I'm saying or misunderstand what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is that we need, like, I feel like everything that we do needs to not be a Esfand thing, a Mizkif thing, a NMP thing. Like, it should be an OTK thing, and everybody needs to have a sense of pride in that. And too often, it did not happen. Too often, it was me for a lot of these things, okay? And you can see it. Go back and kind of think of the times that people talk about something. And I kind of fell into the trap at times too, because I felt like I needed to. I fell into the trap sometimes too, but it was two parts. One, it came from a lack of confidence and saying, like, I didn't know if this thing was going to be good enough, so I wouldn't call it an OTK thing.
We all know you're just stalling because you threw the natty. Ugh.
Dude, I'm so sad we lost the national championship. Owners will be more invested than the employees, of course. They should be. They should be. Will Neff was more OTK before he joined OTK. It's almost like OTK stuff would actually be OTK stuff. It was done on the OTK channel instead of the streamer's own channel. Well, that's a big part of it, is like he lives in LA, right? And also directly right before he joined OTK was like he was doing a lot with us directly right before with like Wild West and stuff. So it's like the memory kind of gets like fogged. I don't know. I watched Loot Goblins with Miz and Pokimane that time they watched it on their stream. Yeah, but like, wouldn't it have been better if like, hey, we're doing a show not on your stream. Can you go over there and do the show? And be a part of the show, be a member, be a contestant. Like, can you promote it leading up to the event to make sure your viewers know about it? Like, isn't that the way that you should do things? Because that's the way that I do things. You know how many times people have come to my chat, Esfand, how come you're the only one talking about this event? Esfand, how come you're the only one who's playing Atomic Picnic for 20 hours? Esfand, how come you're the only one? Now, not necessarily true, but it would happen. And it would happen because that was the perception. And that perception comes from some semblance of a reality. Didn't Nick generate a lot of downloads for Atomic Picnic? Yeah, actually, Nick, not just Nick owned.
In Michelin star restaurants, when one of the chefs come up with a recipe and want to serve it at the restaurant, they will be told by whoever the head chef is, when we put this on the menu, it is no longer your recipe, it is our recipe, and they have to be okay with that or don't release the recipe. That's what needs to happen with OTK.
Yeah. How come you're the only one with a sex? Okay, that's Conquest Dark soon. Conquest Dark comes out in 2 days. And yes, I will be playing it a lot tomorrow, and I will be playing it a lot the next day on the release. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, Mr. Grumble. Is OTK ending? No, not at all. The exact opposite. Just to pick your brain, where and how is this thought exercise coming from? Which one? The entire conversation? Hell Clock release date. That's Hell Clock. Do you ever see your family? I try to. A lot of bigger streamers are not going to individually benefit from the org as much as the smaller ones, so they end up doing their own thing. Yeah, but here's the thing that's crazy. They became bigger after the org started. Or they joined. So, is that not weird? Yeah, retail's in a really good spot. I can't wait for the housing stuff whenever that happens. What's up, Silverman? You see the article? I don't think so. I think the housing is for next expansion. I think they announced it for the next expansion. Oh, oh no, I was just talking. I mean, Tips made like a Twitter post kind of talking about some things with like content direction stuff. So I was like, to hell with it. I'm just gonna take the gloves off and just start talking about everything. You need an OTK house for content. We really didn't need that. I mean, like you have like my house and you have, or you had Mrs. house for a while, but it wasn't really like an OTK house. Skits you guys doing new people join are the best thing about OTK. Yeah, I mean, listen, trust me when I say this. You guys are preaching to the choir. That is the kind of stuff I've always wanted to do, right? Like you guys remember, I used to do a lot of that stuff on my own, like my old Esfand IRL videos, my old, I did the first shareholder, I did another shareholder stream recently. That's where the shareholder stream came from. Like, trust me when I say this, there's a lot that I feel. Okay, there's a lot that I feel, and I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna do that shit one way or another. Yeah, a lot of emotion. I think I think well the crux of the issue is this: you hire staff to put on the shows and to go get deals and to go get sponsors to pay for the shows. So you go and you do those shows to get sponsors. Or sorry, you go do those shows to do the sponsors, to be able to make money, to be able to pay for the people that you hired to do the production, and then the people that you hired to go get the deals to pay for the production and to pay for the operational cost of the business. And ideally, and this is to do elevated content, right? Ideally, over time, you do this more and more, you do more better shows at a higher level, and eventually you can hopefully be able to generate revenue off of it for yourself. But what happens is when you're a hamster on a wheel and you're not getting paid for doing these sponsors over and over and over again, it's like slave labor. Like you're literally just doing. Now, by the way, there's a lot of good sponsors. Don't get me wrong, but there's definitely times where there's like a sponsor that you might not want to do, or there's a content that you might not want to do because of a certain way that the sponsor wants you to do it. But then you have to do it because if you don't do it that way, then you have to fire somebody. You have to lay somebody off. But then you have to do it if you want to sustain the business, right? So then this ends up being a thing where now all of a sudden you're hamster on a wheel. You're not really getting anywhere, and you're essentially working for the people that you hired to pay their salaries and then nothing more. But you're losing your own bandwidth away from your own streams and your own time and any other like creative endeavors that you might have. And that's where a lot of that burnout comes from a lot of the people, right? I mean, like, look at me. There's one thing Esfand knows is how to run a guild. That's right, brother. Like, look at me, dude. Like, I'm running like a chicken with my head cut off for the last 4 years. And it's not to say that I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I don't want to do. But like, I'm a prime example of it, where like I'm freaking beating my head against the wall. You know? Trying to make things work and trying to be a team player. You know? So like, I just wish the rest care. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't care, right? I'm inhuman. I'm an anomaly. I'm a freak of nature. I'm a genetic freak. Okay? I'm the freaking I'm the Travis Hunter. Okay? All right? I'm a two-way player. Okay? I'm him. No, you should never expect to be able to have that sort of like insanity, okay, from somebody. It's normal for people to get tired and to get burned out, okay? Some people get more tired and more burned out more easily than others, and it's kind of disappointing. Don't get me wrong. But it's also reasonable that you have a certain amount of bandwidth and you just can't do everything all the time. So you have to manage your own stream. You have to do this. Now, what happens with me is I end up giving away all my time and all of everything. You know? And that's not good. That's not good either, because then I don't take care of myself. And the results speak for themselves. Like, so for example, it's like, oh, well, like, if I get frustrated about like trying to do something big or do something cool or whatever, like, that's not all everybody else's fault if it doesn't go well. A lot of that is on me. I kind of set myself up for that. Now it sucks because I do feel like it could be mitigated. I truly do. But I also know that I did that to myself. You know? Yeah, pretty much, for Crumbler. Yeah, I like burn out my voice for like 2 weeks to a month every year. Yeah. Hey, at least we haven't had any major tech problems in a while. True. But that's the thing. It's like I don't have time to work on my own stuff because I'm like, I want to do everything. You know? What's the situation with Chance? I haven't seen him talking about OTK as well. Chance just always has done his own thing. Like, he'll show up if you ask him to. Chance will do things if you ask him to, he'll do things. To be fair, your burnout wasn't from 18 hours a day and such when you're not doing anything OTK related. No, GTRP didn't get burned out at all. The only way I felt burned in GTRP was whenever I started getting treated like shit. Whenever I was, honestly, what a coincidence. It was kind of the same thing. I did the same thing in GTRP where I'm like, I'm giving too much, and then I end up getting treated like shit. Yeah. But that's pretty much that. The where burnout comes from. Burnout comes from whenever you give a certain amount of effort and you don't get the same sort of result, right? $16-hour streams and you don't get burned out. Nope. I also have, like, that's whenever I got the healthiest that I'd been in years. I was doing great. RP was great. Seems really like, why don't you work on pen and paper while you listen to music some more days? I mean, I'm just a fidget spinner. Positivity Potato, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you, dude. I feel like other communities hate you for no reason, like GTA at the end and OnlyFans. Well, a lot of the stuff with GTA had to do with like, I'm very reasonable and honest about how I feel about things, and I speak my mind. And it was just a lot of the Chain Gang people. And then also you kind of have like in GTRP, you did have some semblance of like these are the way things are done in RP. So whenever like somebody from the outside comes in and like all of a sudden they're like taking leadership or kind of like making like big waves in RP, like some people kind of feel like a certain type of way about it because they're like, oh, he's not going to be here forever. So why are we going to, for lack of a better word, like pander to the guy who's not going to be here forever? Which is kind of fair, but also people have like so much bad experiences with big streamers on RP that they like. I'm like, dude, this is me. This is Esfand, right? Now it was cool that I won the RP Streamer of the Year. That was kind of badass, and the fact that I've been nominated for 3 different categories that are completely separate from one another for Streamer of the Year categories. Like nobody's ever had that. That's crazy. To have 3 different things be like considered top 4, MMO, sports, and GTA. Like who's done that? Like that's an honor in and of itself that people put your name in for that, you know? Do you play pickleball at all? No, but pickleball is just like tennis for old people. To be honest, it bothered me more treatment of those non-crim side than CG. What do you mean? Well, a lot of the things that the CG guys did over the years, like they know all the buzzwords to get the crowd, to get the audience to grab the pitchforks, and they convey things in a certain way to not like break the rules and to not seem toxic. But it's like, it's kind of like a 6th grader's, you know, like when a 6th grader is like, oh, I didn't say this word, I said that word, but they mean the same thing. And like your teacher's telling you to stop. And it's like, you know better than this. They do a lot of that stuff where they're like, oh man, clearly they're not doing this. Like, brother, you know what's happening, right? Oh, how you got treatment from other cops, non-crim mids? Yeah, but I think I had the support of a lot of the other cops. I think. Portugal back online, 10-hour blackout. Wait, really? That's crazy. So many people in their 20s, 40s play pickleball in Dallas. Crazy to see. Yeah, it's like that in Austin too, but I don't really play. Yeah. Dude, you know what I hear? I hear that pickleball causes a lot of injuries. Like there's a lot of people that have like knee or ankle tears and sprains and stuff. That's like the new fad for physical therapists. Tips and a wig. Looking forward to mopping TBC. Mostly TBC, yeah. No, I like a lot of the PD. I like a lot of the RPers in general. Like, I mean, why are we hating on pickleball? Wait, no, who's hating on pickleball? My sister tore her Achilles. Oh my gosh. Pickleball. Are you going to DreamHack next month? I don't think so. I was thinking about it, but I don't think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go to EU. Check non-Chatterino auto mod. Wait, I don't even know how to do that. I didn't even know that there's an auto mod. How do I do this? Auto mod. How do I check that? I don't even know. I don't mind putting in work. I don't know. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just opened up the dashboard. I have no idea. Wait, screenshot it to me, Dave. I go where Esfand leads, thanks. Oh, that's funny. Hey, well, we know it works. That's good. Long story short, I think OTK is gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. I feel like very heavily motivated to kind of do my part in terms of like rallying the troops and doing the things that we need to do in order to get back to where we need to be, right? And do the things that we want to do. That's how I feel. And I don't want to sit back idly and just kind of let things happen anymore. Because I think I've done that a lot where I'm kind of like, whatever you guys want to do. And I think I'm just going to do shit whenever I do it. Is there any new member possibilities? I think
any gifters
that before we think about anything like that,
wide hard to.
We gotta get right first, and we gotta do things the way that we do things. When does Oblivion start? Soon, Lemmy. Soon. Yeah, I mean, typically I used to do this all the time. I used to start my streams with like a couple hours of just chatting. I'd usually react to some stuff. Maybe 1 to 2 hours of just chatting, or like I would do like a planned sort of like, we do a cooking stream, or we do this, we do that. We do some kind of planned content for 2 to 4 hours. And then after that, I'd play a game. So yeah, that's how, Reddit recap, stuff like that. I want to get back to that. I do. Yeah, it was fun streams. Yeah, it was. When do you think this new OTK will start? I think it's starting right now. And it's not even, it's something that's been going on. But to be honest, I mean, we're kind of shorthanded too, right? And like, people are dealing with their own real life stuff. Because who do you have that's gonna carry, like, who do you have that's really gonna like rally the troops right now, realistically? I miss shower streams, true, Ava. You have me. You have Emmy. You basically have me. I'm talking about in the immediate. In the immediate, you have me, Emmy, Sear. Will, not Will just because he's in LA. I'm talking about in the immediate. Not Soda. Soda's not going to do it. Just be honest with yourselves, right? Not Nick. He's dealing with his own shit. Not Emily. I don't think Emily's not going to do that. Bonnie's not in OTK. Catchy's not in OTK. It's really just you and Sear. And Emmy. Probably. You feeling a little bit better today? Yeah, I am. My voice is still a little bit, I got a little bit of drainage. I'm not talking about people being on streams. I'm talking about who is going to make. Actually, I'll take it an extra step. Who is going to make a concerted effort to take a collective with a driving, like to have it to be the driving force behind a collective of people, and to push the boat forward. So I'm going to take it a step further, right? And be even more specific. Given all their means, isn't that Tip's job? Tips isn't he's not the one that's going to do that. Guys, Cutie's not in OTK. Mr. Arthur's not in OTK. Not Extra Emily. It's just you, Seer and Emmy would, only if they were forced or asked. I think Seer wants to. Seer's not an owner, though. That doesn't really matter, right? It has to be you. The thing is, in the immediate, yeah, I agree. Nick as well. But like in the immediate, he can't, right? It's basically you and Emmy. Kind of. It's basically you or Emmy, and Nick is down until the other thing's done. Yeah. You need someone who isn't a streamer and can set the deliverables to manage owners, talent, and staff. The problem is they don't listen. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, Sir Crumpler. Yeah, because, I mean, Miz is not even, like... I don't know what Miz is doing, right? I don't know what his plans are. Your camera quality is insane. Thanks, dude. Miz is not exiled. Chat, this doesn't just go for Miz, but a lot of times people do things to themselves. And if you have like a aura of negativity about it, it doesn't just drag yourself down, it drags others down. And you can't have that much negativity because it's just going to take away from you and others. So not only are you doing a disservice to yourself, you're doing a disservice to the people around you. Did you go to PAX East with Miz again? That would be funny. I'm going to PAX East. All this tech and no camera on Amiria's face. Convention news are back. Yeah, hey, I'm going to PAX East. Yeah, so we're going to Boston. Now, should I ask anyone to go with me? Canute said Miz is trying to run from inner demons, but he hasn't realized yet it doesn't work, and they just catch up, and they'll take time to get rid of him. That might be the smartest thing Canute's ever said. And Canute has said a lot of things. Who's the lady you met in LA? She should go. Sasha? I think Sasha is great. Yeah, I have a great opinion of Sasha. What'd you guys think of Sasha on stream? You guys had good synergy. Maybe AC and Claire for Boston too. Yeah. Maybe I'll ask. Well, I don't know what AC and Claire are doing. Who's gonna host the OTK Games Expo? I mean, I think the idea is gonna be that the OTK Games Expo is gonna be like. So we have Avalie now who handles all of our show stuff like that, and that's gonna be kind of like her baby. And it'll just basically be like a games expo that's powered by OTK. Claire's in Japan, and AC's in Toronto. Yeah, but I don't know what they're doing for PAX. Is she a part of OTK or like? Well, she's like hired. Like that's her. Like her. I don't know what her job title. I don't know what anybody's job titles is. I'm the worst boss. W Sasha, but does Esfand even have budget for more paid actors? No, please Twitch Prime. Please, for the love of God, sub. Please, please. Please, for the love of God. Claire also, yeah, I think Clara's great. AC's great.
Any gifters wide hard do. Any gifters wide hard.
Goat man, thank you for the 5 gifted. You should do like an OTK skit where you do like an SNL type thing. I mean, I'm telling you, dude. I've talked about so many things.
Wide hard do. Any gifters.
Blades Edge, thank you for the 2 gifted. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys for the subs. Sunlight, bro, thank you for the 17 months. I really appreciate the 5 gifted, Goat man. Thank you, dude. Well, like, here's what I wanted to do. I want to do paid actors, which is like the Who's Line show.
A Prime sub.
KC14, thank you for the 2 months, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the Prime. Is traveling with Zach actually happening? I don't know. Anonymous gives up the Bruce. Thank you, Anonymous. Do you have any plans to unshit your pants? True. AC said she would go to PAX. I just asked her. Transfer ownership of Nightmare to OTK and stream Cat Cam on OTK channel. True. I'm seriously yes. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta plan out a lot of stuff here. Yeah, AC and Clara both mentioned wanting to go to EU. Wake said he wants to go to EU. I don't know if Bonnie. So I was talking to Bonnie. I think Bonnie shouldn't. I think Bonnie should sit at home and farm their house content. Because that's something I talked to Bonnie and actually Emmy too a long time ago. I was like, hey, if you ever move out, like you should take Bonnie and you guys should go get a house together. That was like forever ago though. But then with Emmy, with Bonnie, like Bonnie was kind of like, Emmy's trying to do a new house, and I was like, I told Bonnie, I was like, no, you should go do that. 5 cats in one house. Yeah, Bonnie couldn't really take Nymeria. There's too many cats in that house. They're not gonna. I mean, I don't know. Some cats are different. Nymeria is very like skittish, and I think she would be unhappy there. Bonnie thought so too, which is fine because I'll be honest. Like I kind of wanted to keep Nymeria. Yeah. That house is gonna smell like shit. Oh yeah, even without the cats. I mean, Emmy, Cinna, and Bonnie. Holy shit. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yo.
Cleveland has signed Deontay Johnson to 1 year. Chat, if you know any Browns fans, please check in on them.
07
Any
Browns.
gifters wide hard to.
Melkin, thank you for gifting us up, dude. You should do some iconic history tour stuff. Yeah, that'd be sick. That really would be. What motivates you personally while streaming? I like making good, memorable content that people talk about for years. I wanna make content and do streams that there's just 2 things. One, I want to do like for the elevated content, people are like, oh shit, remember when this happened? That was badass. Right? And then on the other end, I want to do streams.
For what it's worth, I love this real talk session.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, Clay Freeman. Thank you for the 2 months, dude. Sal, thanks for getting this up to Aiden Ross. Dude, what the hell? Aiden's not subbed already? And then on the other end, I want to have streams that like people can go to consistently to build like a community of good people that are individuals with a high moral compass. To have good people and like a good community that people are comfortable, that they can go and they can watch and they're like, you know what? This is a place on the internet that is not insane. You know? I played the numbers you gave me in Vegas and I'm broken out. That was not financial advice, stock guy. That was those were just numbers. Those numbers were not financial advice. You know, I'm sorry. Hey, are you going to EU TwitchCon this year? Stocky? I sent you pictures of me losing. Oh my gosh. How did our homework come along? Oh my gosh, what was my homework for Shay?
Buy the dip.
Dude, what the heck? I have like a... What the hell? Dude, I don't know enough about things. What does that mean? Ask Roy Salter, true. I'm just going to ask her. I said, what did I have to do again? LOL. Okay, what was I saying? What was the last thing I said? Before we can get ready to do some Oblivion. Oh, yeah. Are you going to TwitchCon? I haven't decided yet. My wife wants to go if I do because I almost died last time. Yeah, dude, that was freaking crazy. Have you been okay since? Yeah, Stocky had like a health thing happen. But I remember you saying like it was like has it been mitigated at all? Dying is illegal. True. Wait, really? Yeah, that's freaking crazy, actually. I got enough in me for a couple more IRL streams. Sick. Okay, we'll do. We'll do a couple more IRL streams, for sure. Yeah, frick, dude. Okay. Chad, is there any questions? No, don't worry. No, Emily's still on OTK. I have a question. How dare you? True. Are you keeping that area? Yeah.
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
Question. Why do you enjoy stealing believers' points?
Because it's funny. It's not on purpose. Dude, the believers were good, except for the freaking last game, dude. I still can't believe. Okay, anyways. I think it's finally time to play some games, chat. I was only planning on doing just chatting for like an hour and a half, maybe. But I ended up doing it for way longer. Creator Clash 3. iDubbbz texted me about it. About doing commentary for the Creator Clash again. I think I'm down. I'd love doing the first two Creator Clashes. How's the ass cream? It's not ice cream. How's Scarlet Crusade raid going? I mean, I've been out of town, so I haven't even been able to raid. Summit and Esfand commented duo is goated. Yeah, I love Summit. He's great. What's your game of the year at this point? Damn, I gotta think. Who is Sasha? No, Shay is the organizer. Sasha was the girl from LA that we met in LA. Talk about Elijah Roberts going to the Bucks. Yeah, Elijah Roberts went to the Bucks. We had a guy on the draft show from SMU that ended up getting drafted to the Bucks after he was on our draft show. He got drafted because of us. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that we did that? It was all us. Oh, and Devin Kirkwood that joined us in the studio. He's going to camp with the Bears. Yeah, he's going to camp with the Bears. My vote for game of the year is Blueprints. What is Blueprints? Blueprints is like a blue balls of games.
All of my right.
And doorways.
Okay, lolcat, nobody. I don't even have a response to it. I don't even I don't even have a response to that. Play Oblivion? Chat, it's time to play Oblivion. Like, there's only so many DI woke whatever. Chat, it's time. Also, it has nothing to do with OTK. It's just Asmon. Okay. Chat, I think it's time. Who's not even in OTK? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. YouTube, I'm gonna end the VOD and then it's gonna shoot you over to the Oblivion right away. So YouTube, sub to the YouTube channel, like the stream, please like the stream, leave comments, all those things. Help push the YouTube channel and the algorithm so the editors can get paid. Esfand Daily, Esfand Clips. Coach Esfand channel, a lot more stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff that's been reworked lately, so they can make money. Shooting YouTube chat into Oblivion is wild. That's not what I meant.